In the headlines, Deputy Gender Minister Lariba Zuweira Abudu nominated as Substantive Sector Minister. Vodafone's request to transfer majority shares of its operations in Ghana to Telecel hits snag. ACEP raises fresh issues with relocation of Ameri Power plant from Aboadze to Kumasi. Communications Minister on the 5 Ghana cedi charge on SIM re-registration app. Pastor and wife arraigned in court for allegedly defrauding 875 persons to the tune of over 23 million Ghana cedis under the pretext of securing them plots of land. Bolgatanga Technical Institute closed down after students' riot. And lawyer Chris Ackumey raises alarm over proposed rival chief in Anglo. Welcome to Graphic Online's News in Brief. The Deputy Minister of Gender, Children and Social Protection, Lariba Zuweira Abudu, has been nominated as Substantive Sector Minister to replace Sarah Joasafo, who was last week removed by the President. Lariba Zuweira Abudu is the new Patriotic Party Member of Parliament for Waliwale in the Northeast region.
A statement signed and issued by Eugene Ahin, the Director of Communications at the Office of the President today, said Francisca Otin-Mensah, NPP MP for Kwabri East in the Ashanti region, has also been nominated as the Deputy Minister of Gender. Their nominations are subject to the approval of Parliament. The Minister of Water Resources and Sanitation, Cecilia Binadapa, has been acting as the Gender Sector Minister following the leave of absence of Sarah Joasafo last year.
The National Communications Authority has denied an application by the Vodafone Group to transfer 70% majority shares in Vodafone Ghana to the Telecel Group. The NCA in a press release this afternoon said the application did not meet the regulatory threshold for the approval to be granted.
In January 2022, the NCA received an application for the transfer of 70% majority shares in Vodafone Ghana from Vodafone International Holdings BV to the Telecel Group. In accordance with due process, the NCA evaluated the application on various criteria and engaged both Vodafone and Telecel Group. After a critical regulatory review and evaluation, the NCA has concluded that the request did not meet the regulatory threshold for approval to be granted. Last week, Bloomberg reported about the Vodafone Group's intention to assist Ghana's telecom market to enable the service provider to refocus on its key markets. Some media reports thereafter had suggested that the Ministry of Communications and Digitalization was blocking the sale. Hence, the NCA statement was to help clarify media reports.
Still in the telecom sector and on the issues of SIM card re-registration, the Minister of Communications and Digitalization, Mrs. Esla Owusu-Ekufo, has been explaining the 5 cedi charge for using a yet-to-be-launched self-service SIM registration. She says the charge will be used to pay for the cost of producing the app and not for profit. She was speaking in a radio interview with Asasi Radio today.
Mrs. Owusu-Ekufo said the charge will ensure that the app would pay for itself and not to seek for profit. At a press briefing last Sunday, the Communications Minister said the app will be ready for commercial launch today as part of efforts to deal with some challenges associated with the ongoing SIM re-registration exercise. She indicated that each registration via the app will be available for download on both Android and iOS this week.
You have to pay 5 cedis for it. We couldn't pay for it when it was offered that that's a service that we can use to improve the service, the registration, and said that you go ahead and develop it if you want, and then anyone who uses it would have to pay to use it. So it didn't cost the taxpayer anything.
From the telecom sector, we move to the issues of energy, where today the Africa Center for Energy Policy raised a fresh concern about the government's decision to relocate the Ameri Power plant from Aboadze to Kumasi in the Ashanti region. According to ACEP, the planned transfer of the plant to a private entity instead of the original plan to hand over to the Volta River Authority will bring additional costs to power consumers in the country.
According to ACEP, the cost of transfer and operation in Kumasi was too high, which was also being executed through a sole source arrangement. Speaking at a press conference in Accra, Kojo Yauchi, the policy lead in charge of petroleum and conventional energy at ACEP, said ACEP was against the relocation because the deal was not transparent.
We want this decision to be stopped. That is the first one in the first place. Because we feel that there are far optimal choices that we can make. I mean, I already made mention of retooling the transmission infrastructure within that area to be able to wheel more power sustainably and reliably to the area.
In court today, the founder and general overseer of the Zuweira Outreach Embassy Church, Pastor Kelvin Elson Godson, also known as Kelvin Kwesi Kobri, and his wife Sabina Elson Godson were arraigned for fraud. They have been accused of defrauding 875 persons to the tune of over 23 million Ghana cedis under the pretext of securing them plots of land.
At the Accra High Court today, the two were slapped with 41 counts of conspiracy, defrauding by false pretense and money laundering. They have pleaded not guilty to the charges and have been admitted to bail in a sum of 23 million Ghana cedis each, with 3 sureties each, one to be justified with documents of landed properties. The case has been adjourned to September 5, 2022.
And in the Upper East today, the Regional Security Council has closed down the Bolgatanga Technical Institute following a student riot.
The riots followed the arrest of 2 students and a teacher for allegedly engaging in examination malpractice. Properties including 7 vehicles belonging to the teachers were vandalized. Stephen Yakubu, the Upper East Regional Minister and Chairman of the Regional Security Council, said the closure was the best solution, but indicated that only final year students will be allowed to come into the school when they have a paper to write. The minister further indicated that any student who fails to pack out will be dealt with by security personnel.
We are not going to allow anyone at all, to destabilize the peace that we have in this region.
And before we go, legal practitioner and politician Chris Ackumey has raised alarm of a possible bloodshed in Anlo in the Volta region should a proposed installation and coronation of a rival chief proceed.
He says while the reign of Tobisri III as the legitimate overlord of Anglo State is not in contention, another clan is planning to outdoor another person altogether on August 13 as Duto and overlord, a process he says can only lead to chaos. He has therefore called on the state security apparatus to intervene before it is too late. Chris Ackumey addressed a press conference on the issue today.
It came as a surprise to a lot of us when we had noticed on news that there was an installation of one lawyer by name Ephraim Vorogu and another woman as Mamaga and Togbiga Bonya III of Anglo State. The fact of the matter is that if there is going to be an installation of Togbiga Bonya III, obviously there must be a first or a second. And if there is going to be an installation of a Mamaga Abudu, there must be a first to warrant a second. Those of us who are very, very ardent with the Anglo chieftaincy history are aware of the fact that there have never been one, either a Togbibanya or Mamaga Buekbo. So we thought it was a joke until a month ago when we saw giant posters all over stating or depicting a coronation event slated for 13th of August 2022. As I sit here, I can tell you, as a matter of fact, that those who are pushing for this revisionist agenda are bent on unleashing hell on Anglo land, and not until the security apparatus come in, we must be ready for another trouble.
Graphic Online's News in Brief is brought to you by Graphic News Blast.
Download your Graphic News Blast now and choose your preferred package daily, weekly, monthly, and annually, and access free news on various interest areas as well. Visit us on graphic.com.gh for further information. Graphic News Blast, connecting people through news.
Thank you for watching. For more news, please visit our website graphic.com.gh or follow us on Facebook at Daily Graphic and on YouTube and Twitter at GraphicGH. I am Amankwa Befi.
Subscribe now.